So, welcome everybody. We just wanted to shoot a quick video with some of the most frequently asked questions about our church. And Rob will kick it off here with question number one, which is, where is the church?
Yeah, we've gotten asked that a lot. We have a location now. We're actually meeting at Monticello Christian Academy. It's at 225 East Livingston, right here in the heart of Monticello, Illinois. You can find it if you go to Google Maps. You search for Monticello Family Church. You search for Monticello Christian Academy. It'll pop up there. Every Saturday night from 7 to 8, we'll be out there. There's plenty of parking in the street and across the street. And that's where we're going to be for the foreseeable future. So we'd love to see you. Another question we've got, another popular question is, there's 12 churches in Piatt County in Monticello. Why another church?
Well, the funny answer to this, first off, is for the last, I guess, 5-6 years, we've said no, never. We don't want to start another church. In fact, there's 12 here. Why do we need another one? And over the last 3 or 4 years, as we've been going and running into people, we keep coming across the same phrase from people that says, "I wish you guys had a church, because if you did, we'd go, because I don't have anywhere to go." And I always say, well, that's crazy. There's 12 churches. But, in a small community, it just happens where people get hurt, or people know each other, or, somebody didn't like Aunt Susie's stovetop stuffing or something at a cookout, and they won't go back for whatever reason. And a lot of things happen, or they just don't feel like they fit in for whatever reason, or somebody feels ashamed because of their past or a divorce or whatever it may be, and so we tend to exclude ourselves. And so we didn't realize there was such an opportunity until we started looking at the numbers and realized that there's a huge need of people here that don't have a church and don't have anywhere where they fit in. And so as we kept talking to people in our circle, our mentors and things like that, we just felt led to start a church. So that's why a church. Yeah. So the next question is, why us? So
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know a lot of times people want to know, like, where your degree in theology is, where you went to seminary, and I did spend a year in Bible college, but honestly, I've learned more from the hands-on experience of spending time with people, serving people, just being around people than I ever did in my time in Bible college. And I think for me, it's a situation of, I'm not perfect, and that's kind of why I feel led to be in ministry, because I do have faults, I do have mistakes, I have struggles just like everybody else. We're human beings that essentially we have problems. We're not above anybody. We're not higher. We're not on some pedestal looking down at people. And so our passion, and my passion especially, is just to share from that, just to share from my struggles, my faults, things I've gone through, and how God's brought me through them, things I've learned along the way. I've been doing the Christian thing on and off for 18 years, and that's probably about 18,000 mistakes I've made along the way, right? And so, being able to come up and just, I think the willingness to be transparent, the willingness to be open and honest, and just say, hey, here are some of my faults. Here's how God's dealing with me through those. I think that helps people. I think it helps for people to see some people's weaknesses, some struggles, and see that they're not alone in what they're facing. And one of the things I love about the fact that we've got a team of pastors and not just one pastor is, with 4, 5, 6 people on the team, you're bound to have something in common with one of them in terms of things that you're struggling with, things you're going through. There's going to be somebody you can relate to. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to help you grow. If you're wanting to be a better husband, a better dad, a better worker, a better Christian, being around other people that are going through the same things you're going through and hearing how they get through it gives you strength, it gives you wisdom, and it makes you a better person.
Yeah. And please hear our heart on that when we say that. It's not to say that other churches or other leaders don't have those qualities. It's just we get the question, why you guys? And so we're answering from our heart on why us. When I look at that question, I often think of, well, if you look at it, I'm not qualified. There's a lot of reasons why I shouldn't be in ministry or why I shouldn't do this. And then I look at the stories of Jesus where he's picking his disciples, and he goes and picks some fishermen, a thief, a tax collector, a lot of other troublemakers, right? And he just says, look, you're now in ministry whether you like it or not. And there was no Bible colleges, there was none of that stuff. And but I can't imagine the knowledge of doing life with Jesus for 3 years.
Right.
That's got to be like the most amazing Bible college ever, because we see all the stories packed in the Bible, but yet these guys were with him 24 hours a day, and I just can't imagine what they learned from just watching him interact at what we would call a supermarket, or something like that. And so, if he can pick those guys up off the street, then surely anybody can be in ministry, especially if they have the heart for it. So that's kind of how, when I look at the Why Us, we have a heart for it. We feel called for it. We have people who have said that in our lives. I know with both of us have said, you guys are called to do this, and whether you guys want to start a church or not, you should, because you're supposed to. I was at a conference last year, and people kept coming up to me and said, "How's your church going?" And I would look at them funny, and they would say, "Well, you're a pastor of a church, right?" And so sure enough, here we are. So the next question here is, are you affiliated with a denomination? And this is an interesting question, and I'll just simply say no. We're not. We're an independent church. So the last question is why Saturday nights? So,
well, I'll tell you why I like Saturday nights, because I love sleeping in on Sundays. That is a blast. In all seriousness, though, it's really been an encouragement for me, having 4 kids, having a busy life. It's been very hard for me to kind of take a Sabbath, if you will, that one day a week where you're just supposed to rest, relax. You get through the busy work week, and then Saturday is soccer day and baseball day and choir concerts, and there's always things going on Saturdays, and so that's never really a day of rest. And then you go Sunday and you go to church, and church is good, and we love being a part of church, and church is a blessing. But if you have kids, especially, that getting them up, getting them dressed, getting them ready to go, Joe and Susan are fighting on the couch and all that stuff. By the time you get them there and you get them to church and you get home and you get lunch made because everybody's starving, your day's half over and you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And so it has really been a blessing just to, have that on a Saturday evening, spend some time with the people you love, spend some time talking about God. And then Sundays, you have for your family, you have to rest. And it just kind of frees up your schedule. And it's literally lowered some stress in my life and helped me out a lot.
Yeah, and that's an awesome reason. For me, one of the reasons was I really want to reach leaders, and especially leaders of other churches, and not just leaders, but if you want to call them workers or servants in other churches, where you're serving in church on Sunday, and maybe your church has 2 services, maybe it doesn't, and you're focused on what you're doing in your small group with your kids, or what you're doing in another group with adults, or whatever it is, and you're not really focused and tuned in. Even if you're attending the second service or the first one, however it is, you're still focused on either what happened or what's about to happen. And so we really wanted to create an environment where anybody from any church could come, zero pressure to become a member or whatever you want to call it, but just a place where they could come. There's a freedom to just relax, enjoy it, and get some ministry time yourself. And that's really what I wanted to create as part of Saturday night. And that way you could go to your church on Sunday and be just filled up and ready to go. And so that was one of the draws for me. And then again, just hey, we've got 12 churches doing church on Sunday. Why not put something else on Saturday night? Especially if you've got kids, regardless of their age. I'd rather them be in church than going to a club or something else that's out there. Or if you're an adult, going to a club or a bar, there's a Saturday night option to go get some hope instead of going and doing one of those things.
Yeah.
So it's just about expanding the options, and Sunday is really kind of booked up. So why not do something on Saturday? So that's some of the frequently asked questions we get asked here. If you've got some, please shoot us a Facebook message or an email, whatever it may be, and we'll shoot another one of these videos and answer those. In the meantime, come check us out on Saturday nights at MCA, is the building we're using at 225 East Livingston. We are at 7 o'clock till Rob says 8 o'clock, but we let people hang around and chat and fellowship and stuff after that. So come check us out. Saturdays at 7.
Hope to see you there.